They roared into 24 engines on fire. Max and his Red Bull racing with desire. Sergio followed, but he stumbled and trailed. In the season's first half, their victories held. Max was a lion on tracks burned gold, but halfway through the season, the car grew cold. Perez Tony struggling in his quest. Lance in his own right outdid him at best. Falling wings down from the skies, Red Bull sinking as the season flies. Max fights to keep his lid alive, while Sergio stumbles, just survive. That checkered flag once seemed a sure thing, but fortunes change fast in the racing ring. Mechanical troubles and the handling wrong. The champions yesterday now sing a broken song. Max is holding on by a thin red line, each turn a battle and every lap a time. Perez in shadows where hopes lay slain, every pit stop a prayer for racing's gain. Falling wings down from the skies, Red Bull sinking as the season flies. Max fights to keep his lid alive, while Sergio stumbles, just survives. Down from the skies, Red Bull sinking as the season flies. Max fights to keep his lid alive, while Sergio stumbles, just survives. Just survives.
Feel the speed, the thrill, high octane drama can't get off fill. Engines roaring loud, heartbeats on the rise. On NFR, see the sparks in our eyes. Racing through the night, chasing every turn. On NFR, adrenaline we burn. Pit stops and fast cars, it's a wild ride. NFR, in our veins we can't hide. NFR, feel the rush, feel the speed. Formula One dreams, we take the lead. On NFR, we're flying high. Under the lights, we touch the sky. Yeah. Every lap a story, every driver's dream. On NFR, racing's the supreme. Checkered flags waving, champions arise. NFR brings the glory to our eyes. NFR, where the legends are born. Speeding past the limits, engines reborn. In the fast lane, every second counts. NFR, the thrill always mounts. NFR, feel the rush, feel the speed. Formula One dreams, we take the lead. On NFR, we're flying high. Under the lights, we touch the sky. NFR with the rush, feel the speed. Formula One dreams, we take the lead. On NFR's lane, every second counts. NFR, the thrill always mounts. NFR, feel the rush, feel the speed. Formula One dreams, we take the lead. On NFR, we're flying high. Under the lights, we touch the sky. You will do NFR, feel the speed, the speed. You will do NFR. engines feel the heat. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Monday night, can his feet. Oh yeah, oh yeah. SAFRL, the track's alive. Racing hearts, we just drive. Just drive. 8 p.m. the crowd ignites. Drama unfolds under lights. Speeding fast, never dive. SAFRL, we thrive. We thrive. We thrive. Just drive. Just drive. SAFRL, feel alive. Just drive. Just drive. Monday night, we survive. Rivals clash, engines roar. Roar. Every lap, we crave more. More. Flags wave, stakes sky high. One goal, catch the eye. Catch the eye. Catch the eye. Tires burning, adrenaline high. Oh, one mistake, wave goodbye. Oh, teams unite, souls revive. SAFRL, we strive. We strive. We strive. Just drive. Just drive. SAFRL, feel alive. Just drive. Just drive. Monday night, we survive. We strive. We strive. We strive. Just drive. Just drive. SAFRL, feel alive. Just drive. Just drive. Monday night, we survive. NFR, it's time to go. Feel the speed, let it flow. Racing hearts, watch them glow. Turn it up, start the show. NFR, feel the heat. Fast and fierce, never beat. Engines roar, can't stay off seat. Catch the thrill, it's so sweet. NFR, NFR. Drama high, stars afar. Round the track like a shooting star. Feel the rush, NFR. Lap by lap, watch them spin. Victory's close, who will win? In our heads, the engine's din. NFR, let's begin. NFR, lights are green. Zooming fast, slick machine. Every twist, every scene. Catch the action on your screen. NFR, NFR, yeah. Drama high, stars afar. Round the track like a shooting star. Feel the rush, NFR. Lap by lap, watch them spin. Victory's close, who will win? In our heads, the engine's din. NFR, let's begin. Monday night, feel the vibe. SAFRL, alive, alive. Engines roar, crowds inside. 8 p.m. electric light.
the dream. Speed and drama every turn on NFR, the rubber burns. Feel the thrill of every bend, where the champions transcend. Feel the power at NFR, burning tracks, driving far, where the races never end. NFR, only friend. Fernando calls the play on NFR every race day. Commentary sharp and loud, hyping up the roaring crowd. Feel the power at NFR, burning tracks, driving far, where the races never end. NFR, only friend. Now Fernando calls the play on NFR race day. Commentary sharp and loud, hyping up the roaring crowd. Feel the power at NFR, burning tracks, driving far, where the races never end. NFR, only friend. Deaf Queen, the top supporter scene, the crowd where speed is keen. NFR, the place to be. Join the race, watch and see. They roared into 24 engines on fire. Max and his Red Bull racing with desire. Sergio followed, but he stumbled and trailed. In the season's first half, their victories hailed. Max was a lion on tracks burned gold, but halfway through the season, the car grew cold. Perez all at Tony, struggling in his quest. Lance in his own right outdid him at best. Falling wings down from the skies, Red Bull sinking as the season flies. Max fights to keep his lid alive, while Sergio stumbles, just survive. That checkered flag once seemed a sure thing, but fortunes change fast in the racing ring. Mechanical troubles and the handling wrong. The champions yesterday now sing a broken song. Max is holding on by a thin red line, each turn a battle and every lap a time. Perez in shadows where hopes lay slain, every pit stop a prayer for racing's gain. Falling wings down from the skies, Red Bull sinking as the season flies. Max fights to keep his lid alive, while Sergio stumbles, just survives. Down from the skies, Red Bull sinking as the season flies. Max fights to keep his lid alive, while Sergio stumbles, just survives. Just survives.
Feel the speed, the thrill, high octane drama can't get off fill. Engines roaring loud, heartbeats on the rise. On NFR, see the sparks in our eyes. Racing through the night, chasing every turn. On NFR, adrenaline we burn. Pit stops and fast cars, it's a wild ride. NFR, in our veins we can't hide. NFR, feel the rush,
Good evening, everybody. Welcome back. Welcome back to NFR. Welcome back to SAFRL on a Monday night. And if you were watching last night, welcome back to Las Vegas. Of course, we did this all last night for SKR. Doing it again for SAFRL. Same format as yesterday, just the short quali. So 18 minutes for everybody to get around and set the field for this 50% race. Of course, 25 laps. Tonight we saw a race with a few safety cars and a virtual to boot. And if you look through that timing sheet, you're going to recognize a few names from last night. Those drivers should theoretically have some sort of advantage because, well, they're going to have the most data. They did all of this last night. The drivers in P1 and 2 in the championship, if I'm not mistaken. Let's just have a look. That is Weeze and it's Ferrari, a Mercedes and an Aston Martin. Just having a look through that field. I don't think either one of them is here tonight. It's a good opportunity for the rest of the field to close up the championship. Gunther saying he loves the country song. Well, you must give me some ideas. Of course, I don't think Sergio Perez will like that song very much. Of course, we're still waiting for those first lap times. About to see Virus go over the line to start his first time lap time of the evening. I think he might be the first driver over the line. I think he will be. He'll stay on board with the McLaren. Very unique circuit here in Vegas. Very built up city centre. Really had to just use what they could go with. They came up with a pretty decent race circuit. It's the most impressive straight you're going to see in Formula 1, 1.9 kilometers. The McLaren is the first one to go over the line to set a timed lap. That's why you see he's lighting up the track in purple. Of course he's lighting up the track in purple. It's the only one to have done a lap. Would be a minute off the pace and it would still go purple. Is that humidifier? I think it's humidifier. Trying to make sure I can pronounce all these names before we get to the race. He remains in the pits. Now we're going to see the benchmark time, 31.5. Virus puts himself at the top of the field for now, but that is surely going to change. A lot of drivers about to go over the line. Triple M immediately going quicker, 31.1. We're already getting closer and closer to the 30s. Much further to go. This is not Shumi. No lap time just yet. On that straight I just told you about, opening up the DRS. And cars reaching speeds of about 350 kilometers an hour down that straight, depending on your setup, of course. And not Shumi returning to the pits without having set a lap. Something went awfully wrong there. You're looking at the tyres and scratching your head because you'll see two drivers there on the intermediate compound. Well, we've had a rule in this season. If you choose to qualify on the intermediate tyre, or several drivers choose to qualify on the intermediate tyre, the driver with the quickest time on that intermediate will get 5 extra points. You are going to give up some track position, of course. If you're able to get a fantastic start, you eliminate what you lose at the start and gain the 5 championship points anyway, ensuring you won't go home empty-handed regardless of what happens in the race. Then kick Salva. Is that Azur? I think it's Azur. I don't know. Tell me how to pronounce it in the comment section if you know. If you know, for now I'm going to call him Azur. Kick Salva, the real one, should hire Azur who controls to the top of the field. Of course, no points for Kick Salva. Just 2 races to go in the season. Here in SAFRL, but in life. Of course, it could mean a bit of a swing for them next season. Of course, the lower you finish in the championship, the more time you get to develop the car, the more time you get in the wind tunnel. You'll be able to benefit from that extra time. Get themselves a little closer to the midfield for next season. Because this season it's been a stinker. It's the Skull, one of the 2 Alpines, the other one Pantry Star. Both drivers have set lap times, and those teammates incredibly close together, 31.7.9 and 31.8.0. Just a tenth of a second between. It's not a tenth of a second, it's a hundredth of a second between the 2. Very close between the teammates. And in P3, 31.5. You can see there everybody on the soft tyre, nobody really messing about. We do have those 2 drivers on the intermediate, but they're going to be battling it out for those 5 extra points. Of course, if you do a lap on the soft tyre, you can no longer partake in that 5 points competition. Quali goes by so quickly, just 10 minutes remaining, starting with 18, we're almost halfway through the session, and there's still 3 drivers in the field that have not set lap times. Short quali can catch you out. Remember, Vegas is a relatively long circuit. I believe it's the 2nd longest circuit on the calendar, if I'm not mistaken, 6.2 kilometers. Belgium is the longest, but just a touch over 7. Very long circuit, and what it means is in quali it'll take you quite a while, get around on your out lap, do your quick lap, get around on your in lap. By the time you get back to the pits, you thought you had enough time for 2 runs, you only have enough time for the 1. Currently riding with Matsumi, he'll be happy with his sector 1 time. If you look up sector 1 in purple, if I saw that correctly. Boinkies. Haven't seen him in the comment section tonight, but he is out on track. No lap time from that 2nd Ferrari driver. His teammate up in P11, but on a set of intermediates. Didn't have too many worries beating his teammate, unless this lap was an absolute shocker. We saw Noshimi out on a run, and then he returned to the pits. This time he does go over the line, does set a lap. It's only good enough for P10, 32.8. He's going to want to get back out there and have another go. This is humidifier. Last of the field, the only driver not to have set a lap time yet. Everybody else has been able to get over the line. 51.0 is the quickest time we've seen so far, like this driver here. Then we've got Triple M in P2, 31.1, very close on that front row Then a bit of a drop to the second row, almost 4/10 of a second, where you'll find Levy and Virus again very close together between the second row, 7/100ths of a second between the two. Close stuff at the front. Of course, we're in Las Vegas. There are 2 Grand Prix to go, another 2 Mondays. Then pretty much everything's going on a break. Tomorrow night, the finale of the League v League Championship. That'll take place at Suzuka. Wouldn't it be a great send-off to the League v League to have a rain-soaked Suzuka finale? I think that would be interesting. Second of the 2 Alpines, Pantry Star just behind his teammate, not by far, just I believe that's 100th of a second. 7.9, 8.0, absolutely nothing in it between the 2 teammates matching each other. And as I say that, Pantry Star says match each other no more. 31.3, puts himself up onto the second row. He actually closes that gap to the top 2. Does he have enough time? Yes, he does. Still just under 6.5 minutes remaining in the session. Should still be able to get back to the pits. Just really don't want to spend too much time in the pits. This is humidifier. Did I see that correctly? Did he light up the track? Sure what I saw, but he's in sector 1, so it's really not. 31.6 for humidifier. This is a Azure 31.0. It's a good result so far for Sauber. They would love qualifying to end like this. 1 and 6. Not a bad result. Skull was very, very close to his teammate. Now there's a bit of a gap. He's going to want to get back out there, try and match his teammate. His fellow Alpine. Of course, the French team from 2026 will be powered by Mercedes engines. The Renault powered by the Mercedes. Is it really still a Renault then? This is Spikes in the first of the 2 RBs, his teammate Top Gun. Just a few positions down the road. I think he's 2/10 slower than his teammate. Spikes 31.6. Does find an improvement. It's only good enough for P7. This is Azure. Keeps him going quicker and quicker. Every time the rest of the field gets a little closer and they get a little motivated, they think, oh, just another 2 or 3 tenths and I can get him. Then he moves the goalpost a little further. And the rest of the field all take a sigh. Triple M, that car jumping around a little bit. I think that is internet related, so we'll keep our eyes on that in the race. But he's doing fantastic with that P2 31.1. Would have been a fantastic lap time not so long ago if the kick had not gone out and improved, found even more time. 30.7, the only driver in the 1 minute 30s, showing some early domination in qualifying. Of course, a lot of these drivers, they always leave that something extra in the pocket for that final run. Some of them, they'll do their first run with an extra litre of fuel that they don't actually need. See, it can come back to bite you in a very bad way. But fortunately, this evening everybody has been able to set a lap time. Not sure if it's the lap time they were hoping to set. Everyone has indeed set a lap time. Andre's on an outlap on a new set of intermediates, so he is committed to trying to get these 5 points. Mr. Rem, he's in the pits, and is he undecided? can either go out on a set of inters, try and beat Andre's time, which is almost 9/10 away, or he can put on a set of softs and see what he can do a little higher up in the field. Maybe returning to the pits. Who's still out on track? Virus still out on track. Is he able to find an improvement? He's currently in P5, 51.5. So the drivers sometimes have that little extra in their pocket till the end. We'll see if that is the case. Or also just jumping around a little bit for Virus. Everyone is pretty much in the pits, just 2 minutes to go. I think there is still time to get around, but you need to leave the pits right now. Of course, something we haven't really mentioned, but we're seeing it right here. That's why it reminded me. The DRS, the straight on this circuit, 1.9 kilometers. If you can successfully utilize your teammate like the McLarens just did there, get a massive slipstream, huge addition to speed down that straight, and that could make all the difference. Let's see what Virus is able to do. Just about to go over the line. You call this the final corner if you want, but really it's just a pink to the left. And I think that his teammate really helped him out there. Virus up into P3, 31.2. How close was that to the front row? Just a tenth of a second off Triple M. But his session is over. We still have a lot of cars on outlaps. Not Shumi. I believe this is his final timed lap. Also have Boinkies on his final timed lap, but he's got a couple of laps on those tyres, so I don't know if he's going to be able to find an improvement. Quite a ways off from P10. Andres, P12, also out on track, looking for a late improvement. You're a good attacking driver and you're back here overtaking. Shouldn't have too many problems getting through the field as long as you have the pace to do so. This is a track where overtaking is definitely possible. It is a street circuit, but not the way Monaco is a street circuit. Of course, if you think streets of Monaco are narrow, you should go watch the Macau Grand Prix. This is he's been quickest throughout. He's in sector 3, he's finishing off things. Does he have an improvement? Oh, I don't think so. I think he took too much of that curb. I'd be really impressed if he was still able to improve on that. Surely he lost just a little bit of time over the line, but he's going to have a bit of a slipstream. 22 cars ahead of him, and he does improve. 50.7 doesn't improve by much, but he gets the purple. Looked like he climbed that one curve a little bit too aggressively, might have lost a little bit of time, and maybe he did. Maybe he had more than a 50.7. Maybe that driver will know. Back to Virus. I think he's going to just return to the picture, we know, and stay out. That is the smarter choice, by the way. But he will end a lot quicker after qualifying if you simply go over the line. 5 grid place penalty. What is that all about? Illegal blocking. 5 grid place penalty. It's not just any 5 grid place penalty, it's a 5 grid place penalty for your pole sitter. Gonna have to wait and see if that was just something the game threw at us or if it's gonna be in the official results. It is something. Oh, there we go. 5 positions. So Azura takes pole position, but he's gonna start down the field with that penalty. Triple M in P2, not Shimmy P3. Then we've got Virus, Pancrystar, Humidifier, Levy, Spikes, Skull, and Andres. Those are your top 10. Further down the field, Top Gun P11, Boinky's P12, and then those two intermediate runners, Andre and Mr. M. Death Queen talking about a return in March. No, I assure you we will have some sort of racing as soon as January. I have to confirm the date, but I think it's pretty early on in January. I think it's on the 13th of January. Not sure which league it is, but I've heard that one of the leagues confirmed to me they were starting in January. So there should be some sort of content. Of course, this is not a multi-choice channel, otherwise I would just give you guys reruns every night. Of course, now you're looking at the empty pit lane. All the cars to the left hand side of your screen doing their final preparations for the race. Of course, what tyre are they going to start on? Of course, yesterday in the SKR race, I really love it when the calendar syncs up, because I get so much data from the day before, and then I feel so smart by the time we do the race the second time. So there we go, there's just confirmation of that penalty. We saw Azur going quickest in qualifying, but he's starting down in P6, a 5 grid place penalty. Triple M get the privilege from starting from the front of the field, even though he didn't set the fastest lap time. It's not something you see very often. Good luck to everyone in the field from Death Queen. Supporter that you'll always find in the comment section. We're always glad to have you. Of course, if there are any sort of special events throughout December, any short races, fun races, non-championship races, if we can get it on this channel, we'll get it on this channel. So Triple M is going to lead the way. When he went over the line, or saw he wasn't able to improve, saw he wasn't quick as the Kicksalber, hopefully would have been a little bit frustrated, and then moments later realized he was going to start from pole. If that qualifying pace translates into early race pace, then I don't think Azur's going to have too much problem. The car right in front of him will be his teammate, so if those two are in communication and the one is clearly faster, I don't think they're going to give each other too many hassles. And look at that, I brought up the tyre screen just for interest's sake. Last night in SKR we also saw two drivers on the hard compound. We saw the rest of the field on the mediums. Not Shumi. Well, he's trying something different. He's on the soft compound. Don't know how long those tyres are going to last, but he needs to make them worthwhile in these opening laps. It's 5 red lights, and when they go off, so do we. There they go. We wait for a better camera angle and we eventually get one. Red Bull versus Williams. I almost said RB, I wasn't sure, there's too many blue cars on the grid. So it's a Red Bull from a Williams, Triple M from Natsumi. Natsumi should be very aggressive here in the early stages. He's going to have the superior grip. he's going to be able to get those tyres up to temperature faster than all of those cars around him. The softer the tyre, the easier they are to get up to temperature. And of course, he's just going to have that superiority in grip. It's not going to help him too much if Triple M has the superiority in pace. He needs to make sure he stays within DRS. Driver in front of you is in fact faster than you, as long as you can stay within DRS, he can just tow you around instead of disappearing into the distance. Just able to hang with him, and while you might not be putting him under pressure lap after lap, you might just be hanging on to that 1 second gap. Just that frustration of not being able to get away can cause an incident, can cause a mistake. M still leads, perhaps slightly down, 5/10 of a second or half a second, whichever one you want to call it. The 4/10 of a second looks like on this circuit. This is the view from Natsumi, man currently in P2. You can see the man in P1 just ahead of you. And you can just about see the man in P3, Virus, 7/10 of a second down the road. That 7/10 means absolutely nothing when you open up DRS down this straight. It's lap 2 and we've got a virtual safety car. Might be mistaken because I've commentated on too many races, but I think last night we got a virtual safety car on lap 4. And that virtual safety car was followed by another 2 full safety cars. So hopefully we have a slightly quieter race than that. Careful what you wish for. Yesterday, that being said in the comment section, please no more safety cars, and well, Andre could have really used one more safety car. Andre, that is the man down in P12. Yesterday he was in the Williams, today he's in the McLaren. Look at this use of DRS. I just think he wasn't close enough initially. And remember, Triple M will have the assistance of battery. That's your only defense on this circuit. If you're the lead car, those cars behind are bound to get you eventually. It's all about that battery management and really just hoping that those drivers behind you get involved in their own little scrap and you're able to just sneak away. For the time being, Triple M not able to get away. May have something to do with the tyres Natsumi is on. Remember, he's on the stock tyre. He's not planning to go too deep into this race. He probably would have preferred a full safety car. He would have come in and already got rid of those tyres. Well, I'm not quite sure if that was a commentator's curse. Andre is, I didn't notice, but Andre is, that's not Andre, that's Andres. Apologies. Andre is still very much in the race. It's just one McLaren. I thought that was Andre out of the race. That was grayed out and I'm sitting a little bit too far away from the monitor. So, don't worry Death Queen, don't worry Andre, you are indeed still in this race if you're listening. Just you're down in P12 and a safety car could really mix things up. With no safety car just yet, we had a virtual safety car. It wasn't really a lengthy one, so nobody utilized it to make a pit stop. Everybody on the same set of tyres they started the race on. Two drivers that started on hards looking to go deep into the race while they were right at the back of the field. Azur sets the quickest lap of the race. That's the man down in P4. Remember, he qualified in pole position and then frustratingly got that penalty right at the end. We're not sure what that penalty was about. Said he was blocking cars. An interesting one only the driver could explain. You couldn't see it on track. Two Salvers coming through the field quite nicely. Remember, they started P5 and 6, they're now 3 and 4. They've each made up a couple of positions. Looking at a possible double podium. Remember, not Shumi in P2, but he needs to pit, and now he's starting to drop off from Triple M. 1.5 seconds. I wonder if he made some sort of an error. Well, if he did, nobody was able to get by. He still holds on to the P2 position, but that gap now getting bigger and bigger. 2 seconds. Is there damage? Is there damage we can't see? Let's hope for a better camera angle. Oh yes, there's damage. I think the entire wing is missing, if I'm not mistaken. Try and get a better view. You're not going to see it in TV pods, so you're going to try and see it now. Just can't get a good view of that front wing, but I'm pretty sure there is damage because he's falling through the field. This can't just be the softs going off. He's only got 3 laps on those softs. Does he come into the pits? No, he doesn't. Maybe there isn't damage to that car. Maybe he's just fallen down the field. Welcome to Visor in the comment section. Good to have you back. We've already had our first virtual safety car of the evening. Still 1 retirement. If I remember correctly, yesterday we had just the 2 retirements. Triple M out front, 1.9 seconds. The gap actually briefly touched 2 seconds, so it has come down ever so slightly. 1.8. The 2 Salbers, P2, P3. And Matsumi. No predictions tonight from Visor. That's not good. Need predictions. And not rain predictions. We're still in the desert. Tomorrow night, you can give me rain predictions. Tomorrow, League B League finale, Suzuka, rain always possible. Lim, then the 2 Salbers, 1.7 seconds. They are closing up ever so slightly. Remember, they're not going to get DRS, but you're still going to get the use of slipstream, especially down that long straight. So make sure you can use as much of it as you can. Triple front. How's he managing that battery? Pretty much the same really for the top 5 drivers. This is Pantry Star. He's actually just lost the position to Virus. When we say Pantry Star was in P5, in fact he's in P6. Virus in P5. In the lead McLaren. Second McLaren has also made up some ground. Andre up into the points. P9 now. As for Skull, not sure if he had some sort of damage, but he's already coming to the pits. He's got a brand new set of hard tyres and he's at the rear of the field. 21 seconds behind the rest of the field. We lose about 20 seconds here in the pits. So he'll be right on the back of that queue. Of course, if the drivers on circuit have aging tyres, he should have a slight advantage. He's got clean air ahead of him and fresh rubber. By the time everybody does pit, we could have a retirement. We've got a caution. Seamuck shouldn't be falling down the field. Seamuck retirement. He's definitely back on his way. We've had a retirement, a second virtual safety car, this time for Boinkies. I saw Natsumi falling down the order. I thought that was going to be a retirement. He lost a lot of positions. Thought that might trigger a safety car, but it wasn't that. It was Boinkies in the background. He retired for the Ferrari team. And we're under our second virtual safety car. Just to take note, something that if you watch this channel you'll be quite familiar with. Sometimes we get that little logo on the top left hand side of the screen saying virtual safety car, and it can indeed be a full safety car. What you need to do is look at your track map, look at sector 1, and if you see a stationary yellow dot, well, that's the safety car waiting to pick up the queue. So I'm pretty sure it says virtual safety car on the screen, but I'm pretty sure it is a full safety car. This is a glitch that only happens to us in spectator mode for some reason. When you're driving, I've never seen this particular problem. Of course, yesterday I commented on the names next to the circuit not being correct. I was in fact mistaken. On last year's game, the names were generic. At the beginning of this year's game, they were generic, but F1 have since acquired the necessary licenses, and that's why it now says Caesar's Palace on the side of the track and not Las Vegas Hotel. Of course, you can just see there that stationary yellow dot. The lens got to go around the corner and find that stationary dot. There it is. Definitely a full safety car. There's your confirmation. So don't worry about what it says on the screen. What it says on the screen is incorrect. You're under full safety car conditions. Seems like all of the cars. I was going to say most of the cars, all with the exception of Skull. Of course, he pitted a lap or two ago for damage. Matsumi also pitted a lap or two ago. Then everybody else pit under the safety car. Those hards can go a long way. You might see drivers even trying to finish the race on those hard tyres. If another safety car comes out, then of course that probably won't be the case. You don't want to unnecessarily stretch tyre life. If we don't get another safety car, I think we might be done for pit stops as well. This 25 lap race, we're now on lap 8, we've got a virtual, we now have a full safety car. Triple M at the front, modifier P2. We've got Mr. M, and we've got the second Pixelder. There's a problem when you're as quick as your teammate and you're riding that close to him. Comes to pit window, you can sometimes manage to agree who's going to pit first, who's going to pit second to avoid that double stack. But when it comes to a safety car, both cars want to jump into the pits. You don't want to have to do an entire lap around at a slow delta speed. It costs you all the time in the world, so you have to dive into the pits behind your teammate. It costs you a lot of time. Luckily for Reserve only cost him the one position, which he was following his teammate. Now he's got a Ferrari between him and his teammate. Queue looks like it has formed. We have a stationary McLaren on track? Yes, we do. Ooh, we've got some sort of an issue there. Andre joins the lobby, but we have some sort of an issue there with the car. Just not able to get it going. Andre, if you are listening and you are on the wheel, grab your remote, try accelerate on the remote. This happened to me the other day. I couldn't get out of the pits. I just wouldn't accelerate. Triple M still leads the race. Still have that problem. Yes, we do. There we go. Andre stuck on track. And now it appears there's a second car stuck on track just behind Andre. Surely he's not going to be able to be there for much longer. Since that car stays stationary for a period of time, you get a countdown. Parked in a dangerous location. Skull disqualified from the race. Andre, well, I think he's retired. because it's showing that he's in the pits and he's clearly not in the pits. All sorts of havoc happening there at the back of the field. Andre seems to be stuck. Skull has been disqualified. All sorts of havoc. Red Queen's two favourite drivers. Now unfortunately for all of the drivers, I'm going to have to take note. I've seen this once before. Wasn't commentating on the race, I was driving on it, and I can tell you that that car will most likely not disappear for the remainder of the race. So every time you go around the corner, you're going to get a bit of a fright, a bit of a shock. Remember that those cars are probably going to stay there till the end. Second penalty going the way of Mr. M. For a second there I thought it was going the way of the leader, but that's Triple M. Mr. M down in P10. He's actually just come into the pits. Andre, well, he's not in the pits. He's out of the race. Stuck as a ghost in a wall. Going to be a little distracting for the drivers. Eventually you'll make a mental note of where it is and you'll try and put it out of your mind. For the first couple of laps it is distracting. Come around a corner, it's a ghost car, you know you can drive through it, but just for a moment you might think you're about to have a collision. A little lift of the throttle, that any sort of mistake. Salvers, we said they were looking at a potential double podium. That double podium looking more and more probable. They just need to keep those cars in those positions, keep them facing in the right direction and keep those wings intact. They're both on a relatively new set of hard tyres with just 15 laps to go, so they should be able to get to the end of the race. Triple M, the driver they're racing, same strategy, 2 laps on those hards, should be able to get to the end of the race quite easily. So Triple M set the fastest lap of the race, so not only is he at the front, he's extending the gap. 2 drivers in P2, so we might see these 2 trade places, but there's no need to trade places at the moment. They're not close enough, 1.2 seconds between the 2. I think if they were to start obscuring each other, we might see a switch. It also depends on who is where in that Drivers' Championship. There is the Drivers' Championship. It looks like both those Kicksauber drivers are reserves. So flying the flag high for Kicksauber. And oh, they'll love those points because they're down in P8. Also at the top of the field, Mercedes and Aston Martin 189, 155, so lots to play for in the Constructors' Championship. As far as the Drivers' Championship goes, still lots to play for there as well. Remember, even when a championship is decided, there's so many positions down the field. So many drivers down the field that a P4 means so much more than a P5. Up and down the field, everyone will be struggling for that one extra position in the championship. They've been saying that Andre's problem came from a driver that left the lobby. We have seen examples of this in the past, a problem that seems to have gone away in recent times. Hopefully these are not signs that it's making a return. Of course we are approaching 2025 and F1 likes to make some pretty interesting patches towards the end of the game's life. It sort of makes you want to buy the new one. Triple M, 2.8 seconds. Gap's getting bigger and bigger, and I said those Selders weren't really close together. Well, now they are. It's a Zerk versus Humidifier. Remember, both these drivers are reserve drivers, so they're going to have fun. They're going to race. They don't care if they're teammates. They're here to have fun. They go side by side. Humidifier, then a Zero in P3. Remember, he should have been the driver on pole. Got a very strange looking penalty. Locking the circuit. Not even sure what that means. Did he maybe get stuck in the pit entry? Only the driver knows. Triple M, 3.7 seconds. Every time we have a look, it's getting further and further up the road. Two Selbers couldn't get any closer if they wanted to. If they got any closer, physics suggests one of those cars would break. Get as close as you want, but two objects cannot take up the same space. Get close, but you don't want to take your teammate out, and more importantly, you don't want to take yourself out. You're going to go from having fun to getting really frustrated. Is that a Ferrari lingering at the back? I think it is. Yes, it is. Mr. M. It's just Andre's car, still next to the wall, getting a lot of screen time for a car that's not even racing. I think we've gone back to that car a few times. Keep on thinking there's someone in the pits. The battle between the Selbers. Low stuff here, and then we've got an entire DRS train following these Selbers. It's just as the two green cars start to battle, start to go side by side a little bit, compresses that group of cars behind them, and all of a sudden they're just battling each other, and then they look in their mirrors and they've got half the race circuit behind them, they've got half the field behind them. Long DRS train, just broken here by Top Gun, but he's actually just popped back into DRS. So we've got a DRS train from P2 all the way down to P9, and this is on lap 14 of the race. Good to have you here, Boinkies. Welcome to the stream, welcome to the comment section. Unfortunately not your race tonight. Also seen retirements from Andres. We saw a disqualification from Skull. That was a very strange one. Came into the lobby soon after that, but obviously wasn't able to take control of his car because there was no car to take control of. Disqualification pretty immediate. Unfortunate for both drivers. Unfortunate for Boinkies and Andres, but that means there's 11 drivers left, actually 10 drivers left in the field, so it's showing 2 DNFs, 1 DSQ and Andre in the pits. Andre, I can confirm, is a DNF, so there's just 10 drivers in this race. Everyone who sees the checkered flag will see points. This is Mr. M. Is he in control of that car? Yes, he is. So he's over a minute adrift from the man in P9. Like I say, just the 10 cars, so even if you're 10 minutes adrift, just get over that line. You're going to get yourself some points. Of course, the only benefit I can think of finishing a lap behind, you're not going to have to do the 25 laps, you're just going to have to do 24. Selbers now have begun getting further and further apart as Zer actually has got past his teammates and he's actually started to reel in the Red Bull. Gap 2.7 seconds, pantry start, 3-second penalty next to his name. Not something he would have wanted. Such a difficult race. When you go add 3 seconds next to your name when you have a field this close. That's the difference the DRS makes on this circuit. Some of these drivers are quicker, some of these drivers are slower, some of these drivers are midfield. But when you have the ability to just keep up with that faster driver ahead of you, because of the overpowered DRS, it just extends the length of these DRS trains. They're a lot longer than you'd see at other circuits, and they last a lot longer than you'd see at other circuits. But Azur has left the DRS train behind. He's got one thing in mind, he's got one thing in view, and it's to rightfully take back the P1 he earned in qualifying. Currently in P2, we saw that gap. It's come down almost 7/10 of a second just on the last lap. 1.9 now, getting dangerously close. It was almost in the 3 seconds. He's brought that down to 2. Once it gets to just below a second, Triple M is going to start feeling the pressure. That battery management, so important at almost any circuit, but at a circuit like this, just left defenseless. If you've abused that battery to try and stay ahead, after a lap or two, you're going to have absolutely nothing, no defenses. Sometimes it comes down to strategy. Sometimes you have to let that guy go by knowing you're going to get DRS on the next lap, and you have to come back by him. Might come down to who's got DRS on the final lap. That is, if the Kick-Sauber can continue reeling in the Red Bull. The gap went up to 2.1 seconds and now back to 1.9, so just hovering around that mark. Triple M will be doing everything he can to manage that gap, keep it above 1 second. He'll be keeping an eye on it, be looking down at his battery, using it where he can. Of course, drivers in P1 and P2, both of them will have no assistance of DRS at the moment. As for this crowd, well, look at this. Virus, Spikes, Levy, Notsumi, Pantry Star, Humidifier, all, what is that, from P2 down to P8, all in a DRS train. Look at P3 down to P8, all in a DRS train. This is lap 17 of 25. If you see DRS trains like this, it's usually before the first pit window, it's usually early on in the race. When you see this late in the race, and that is not what you want to see, as there was temporarily ghosting there. It seems like that has gone away. The last thing you want to see is one of the race contenders ghost. It means they've lost connection to their car. You know the AI can be pretty slow. All that work you've done can disappear. Fortunately for the Sauber, he seems very much in control of that car. 1.7 seconds is the gap, so coming down just a little more. Fortunately for him, he doesn't have any sort of tyre advantage. He's just got same compounder tyres, P1, P2, both on the hard tyre. Azur's just got the advantage of 1 lap fresher tyres. Don't know if that's going to make a difference at the end. This is Mr. Rem. This is Top Gun. Not Shumi. I want to say at the rear of the field, but they're not really at the rear of the field, are they? P9, P8. These are decent finishing positions. Humidifier. Well, we were wondering what happened to him. He was battling his teammate, he was matching his teammate, putting his teammate under pressure. Then he started to drop back suddenly, and then he actually lost a few positions. And well, there's your answer. The entire left-hand side of that front wing completely missing. Sometimes if you just lose an end plate, you think, right, I can go to the end of the race without pitting. It's 1 or 2 laps to go. I just need to brake a little earlier, turn a little earlier, whatever it is, adjust your driving style. But when the wing is that broken, well, it's going to be a little difficult getting to the end. Hoping not to lose any more positions, but he's coming under pressure from Pantry Star, not Shumi, not far behind. So Humidifier could still find himself in P8 by the end of this race. Triple M, Azur, Spikes Max coming under pressure in the RB. Where is Virus? I think he's going to go ahead. They're side by side at the moment. He has got the nose in front, and he makes it look easy. Virus P3, Spikes P4. So with the front, let's go back to that battle, because that's turning into a battle. Of course, there was a gap. It was 3 seconds, came down 2.7, then 2, 1.5. Now he's broken DRS. It's 8/10 of a second, and all of a sudden defending is going to become a lot more difficult for the driver ahead. Triple M should have started in P2 in qualifying. Got to start in P1. Strange penalty for the pole sitter. He has come through the field effectively up into P2 and now starting to challenge for the lead. The Triple just doing everything he can to keep that gap just over a second. It was over a second. It's now dipped back into the 9/10. So disconcerting. You use your battery down a straight, maybe just think, okay, I can gain an extra 10th or 2, get this guy out of DRS, and then all it needs is one mistake into a corner, one missed braking point. All that time you were gaining, it's all gone. Now one advantage for Triple M this time round at least. You can see he's just behind Mr. M. That's a car he's about to lap. Now what happens is, he picks it up still as a car that's just in front of you, which means he gets DRS. It's going to help him stay ahead of his main rival a little longer, but for how much longer? 1/10 of a second covers these two. Surely, very next time DRS becomes available, will Azure even wait for that? M versus Azure. This battle was a battle that happened in qualifying. I'm sure if we're going to see these cars that close together in the race. The Sauber has definitely put himself back into this race, right on the back of that Oracle front wing, rear wing rather. Won't get much closer than that. Otherwise you're going to lose a piece of your front wing. 3-second penalty for humidifier. Don't pick up too many penalties around this circuit. Some circuits on the calendar have shown almost the entire field, and in some cases the entire field picking up penalties of varying degrees. Now activates DRS. There we go. You see the wing open on that luminous green. Kicksauber gets closer and closer, goes towards the inside and decides no. I think he had what it took to get past there. I think he decided no. This is all strategy. You know when you're behind, but far ahead, he's utilizing battery, he's draining battery. You're not using battery because you're just using DRS to stay right with him. You're essentially draining him. And when he has no defenses left, then you pounce towards the end of the race. If you pounce now, he might come back at you, but he's pouncing as we speak. Gets ahead, easily done, long before the corner arrives. And Azur is the new leader of the race. Of course now, if Triple M wasn't able to match him on pace, now he should be able to match him on pace. But it's just 2 or 3 tenths of a second between them every lap. That DRS is just going to be able to tow himself right back up to the leader every time the leader makes up a bit of an advantage. So stay with him, take this race all the way down to lap 25 of 25. Spikes still in a battle for the podium. That's Virus just up the road from him, 6/10 of a second between the two. Second Sauber, still doing a fantastic job. Still ahead of Notsumi. Very, very broken looking car. Not so pretty looking Sauber. He's chosen not to come into the pits. Chosen to hold on to track position. In a lot of cases we would have seen the driver simply pop it into the pits, go for the softs, look for the fastest lap. Not on this occasion. Going to let that car crawl to the end while the other Kicksalver, or the Fortunes, definitely smiling on him. Triple M. It's close, but not close enough. Mr. M now sets the fastest lap for the race. We were just talking about somebody coming in, putting on the set of softs and stealing the fastest lap for the race. Well, Mr. M has done it. So, while he's the quickest man on track, frustratingly, he's a lap behind. And in P10. That will double his points tally for the race, of course. 1 point for P10. With an extra point, it'll take him up to 2 points. You can just double your tally for the evening. And your leaders still close together, 5/10, is it half a second, is it 5/10, I don't know what to call it. There we go, it's better, 1/10 of a second. The Red Bull pulls alongside, and easily done. We have a new leader, it's Triple M. He's led the majority of the race. Mr. led for about 3/4 of a lap, and now Triple M is right back in it. We're going side by side again. That's the best camera angle I can give you of side by side. Red Bull tucks in behind the Sauber for now. Oh my word, this commentary box is hot. I need to go stand outside after this. 23 of 25, not much longer to go, and I can confirm we're in the safe zone, so no more safety cars. It's too late on in the race for that. If anybody were to retire now, their car would simply, unlike Andre, disappear from screen. No more safety cars in this race. We did have the one virtual, we did have the one full, one less than we had last night. Last night we had a slightly bigger field. Cars on track. No chance you have of incidents. Triple M, 7/10 of a second, not long to go. Just to close that up as much as possible. 7/10, 6/10. And wait for him to open up this rear wing. 5/10. There we go, there's the wing, now watch the gap, 5/10 of a second, 4/10 of a second, 3/10 of a second, and that's the power of DRS. Down that incredible 1.9 kilometer straight. Of course the DRS comes relatively late in the straight. That entire straight has been a DRS zone. I think a lot of these cars would have their engines expire by the end of the race. Bit of a lock up a little bit late on the brakes, fires there, that's going to let Triple M get a little closer, 4/10 of a second. Lap 24, 25, when do you want to make that overtake? If you've got DRS, do you make the overtake this lap, or do you wait for the very last lap? Of course, denying your opponent of one last stab at DRS. If you get it wrong on that final lap, you're not going to be too impressed with yourself. Is the leader, a 9/10 gap, so he's going to be feeling pretty confident at this stage, and he's just popped it out of DRS. That's going to make a huge difference. That's going to make a huge difference. Down this incredibly long straight, no DRS. Where he should have got a little boost, where he should have got a little toe. Doesn't get that advantage this time round. Triple M. Gonna still make a race of this. He needs to close that gap to below a second. Sir will know that. He's saving up a little bit of battery. Now he's giving it everything. Just to open up that gap. 25 of 25. Will soon be on the way. Not long to go until we get to the final lap of the race. I don't know what to call this. Is this the final corner? Or is this a kick? I'm not sure. Reserve starts that final lap. Triple M has been able to close the gap into a DRS gap, which means he's going to get another stab of DRS. It's going to be very difficult for that Sauber driver. Will be ruining that penalty from qualifying. Where would he have been if he was able to start from the front of the field? Top Gun picking up a 3-second penalty towards the closing stages of the race. Now if Humidifier, Top Gun and Pantry Star, the three guilty drivers on penalties. Bad retirements from Andre, Boinkies, Andres, a DSQ, a weird DSQ from Skull. It's a nice lobby showing some instability, unfortunately. Something it seems we'll never really be free of. Reserve. He's done enough. 9/10. Surely there's nothing Triple M can do from this point unless the Tech Sauber makes a huge error. 8/10, 7/10, it's not going to be enough. I think the Sauber has timed this just perfectly. He's managed his battery just perfectly. Where is Triple M? There he is. 9/10 of a second. It's not going to be enough. It's not going to be enough. And there we go. The final corner. The final left-hander. Over the line. Azur takes the win. Triple M in P2, still waiting for the man in P3. There he is. Spikes confirmed. Podium position. Then Virus P4. Still waiting for Levy to come over the line. There he is. Not shooting just behind him. Then Pantry Star. You can actually see after 25 laps how relatively close the field still is. Modifier, he was 20 seconds adrift. I think he obviously made a late pit stop. Top Gun, not the race he would have wanted. There we go, late pit stop. Humidifier stealing the fastest lap right at the end of the day. Where is Mr. M? He's also got a fresh set of socks. Is he going to steal the fastest lap yet again? Yes, he does. Steals the fastest lap. And nobody's going to be able to take it away from him now because he was the last man over the line. Driver of the day goes to Azur, of course qualified on pole position, got that 5 grid place penalty, had to start in P6 and then went on to win the race. Get a brief look at the podium and let's go over to your results. So Azur takes the victory, started in P6 after that grid penalty. Managed to take the victory at the end, timing everything pretty perfectly. Triple M led the race for a majority of the race and still looked like he could win that race right till the very end. Spikes P3, Virus P4, then we've got Lebby in P5, Noshumi P6, Pantry Star P7, Humidifier P8, Top Gun P9, and Mr. M taking the final point and the bonus point for fastest lap. No points on the night. DNF for Skull. DNF for Andre. See, that doesn't make sense on our screens. It said DSQ. So DNF for Skull, Andre, Boinkies and Andres. So that was Season 9, Round 12, Las Vegas, SAFRL. Of course, just 2 rounds to come. After this, we head to Qatar. And then we finish things off at Yas Marina following that F1 calendar. Fantastic race this evening. But remember, tomorrow night, Tuesday night, 8 o'clock, it is the League v League finale. And it's going to be in Suzuka, the best place to finish off a season. Don't think we're going to have anyone in the comms box tonight for interviews. I still need to sort out I still need to sort out the Discord because last night nobody could hear Skull. So I'm going to try and get that sorted out for tomorrow night. I'm going to thank all of you that watched, everybody that left a like, and everybody that enjoyed the music in the beginning. Of course, I'll be back tomorrow night at 8 p.m. I hope you'll all be back tomorrow night at 8 p.m. And of course, enjoy the racing you have left, because the channel is about to get a little quieter. So I hope to see you all tuning in. And until next time, cheers.
Flags wave, stakes sky high, one goal, catch the eye. Catch the eye, catch the eye. Tires burning, adrenaline high. Oh, one mistake, wave goodbye. Oh, teams unite, souls revive. SAFRL, we strive. We strive, we strive. Just drive, just drive. SAFRL, feel alive. Just drive, just drive. Monday night we survive. We strive.